All episodes of The Way We Haunt Now deal thematically with death and dying. Many contain mild horror elements. Take care, listeners.
Bill, I really need a yes or no about this event next month. Bill!
This is The Way We Haunt Now, episode 22, The Road.
Is it usually this quiet?
No, it looks like the buses are going to be out of the question for the foreseeable future.
Oh, do we hitch a hike then?
Hitchhike? Yes, that is exactly what we'll have to do. Though I'm very out of practice, and humans tend to be pretty suspicious of hitchhikers these days.
Why?
It's complicated, but mostly down to horror movies. We'll have to add some of those to your media list when we get back.
Perhaps. So, how do we begin?
Well, we have to bend the rules a little bit.
Is that allowed?
It's a gray area. We've got to make ourselves visible so we can get a ride.
Why don't we just hop into a vehicle?
We can, sometimes. But it's a little bit rude, and it increases the chances of an accident. The drivers tense up. They can tell we're there, even though they don't know we're there.
I see. So, we leave a small trace?
Yes. They'll forget about us after a few days. Or rationalize us into something else.
All right. Let's give it a go.
Great. So now we just stand on the curb and hold out our thumbs. Like this.
Like this?
Yes.
What does it mean?
Just that you need to go somewhere.
And then what?
And then we wait.
Hey, ladies! Going somewhere?
Not with you.
You sure? I'd be more than happy to take you for a ride.
I'm sure you would. Now move along.
Are they all so objectionable?
Hitchhiking is a much less civilized way to travel than the bus. And if you'd ever taken a bus, you'd know it's already a very low bar.
But...
Oh, here's someone.
Heading north?
Yes, we are.
I can take you as far as Albany.
Wonderful. Thank you.
You're listening to KBOU, K-Boo, where the music is all spooky all the time. As always, I'm your host, John Harker, and this evening it's my special privilege to bring you a commercial-free hour of music from your favorite horror movies. Brought to you by Spooky Escapes, the scariest escape rooms around.
Mind if I smoke?
We cast you out with salt and rosemary.
We cast you out with voices raised as one.
We cast you out. We cast you out. We cast you out.
We cast you out with salt and rosemary.
We cast you out. with voices raised as one. We cast you out.
We cast you out.
We cast you out. We cast you out with salt and rosemary.
We cast you out with voices raised as one.
We cast you out. We cast you out.
We cast you out. Oh shit, we got life flames.
Keep going. That means it's working. But if we stop now, it will just lash out.
Aren't there people still inside?
I'm calling it in. Let's keep going. We're close. I can feel it. Really? We haven't done enough damage?
Salt and rosemary. We cast you out with voices raised as one.
911.
We cast you out.
I
Cast you out. Ow!
Keep going!
Hello? Please state your emergency.
There's a fire, and I think there are people inside, and my friend just got hurt.
I'm going to be sick.
Nick, my dude, sit down. You're bleeding.
I don't feel so good.
That was not great.
What are you talking about? We did it! Yeah! Now grab my backpack. I need the first aid kit.
We've dispatched first responders. Can you stay on the line with me?
It's gone.
The fire. Please tell me what's happening if you can.
Just gone. Like it was never there, but it was. And now it's not, and it's a corpse.
Corpse?
The house is a corpse. It's gone and the house is a corpse. And it's all our fault.
Oh, to think that Honoria Eyebalskies was so dead set to win the pie contest that she'd poisoned Hansie Mackibbin's pie and crushed Lord Brazelwaite under a ton of flowers.
It's a damned shame. Pardon my language, sister. The woman's brambleberry pie is the best thing I've tasted in years.
So you're saying she would have buried the competition? Bedelia, you scamp.
Frankie told him he could have the room.
But I can also say in a different room, Kadea, that's your name, right?
Cardea. Can Aaron sleep here, Cardea?
Not here. Frankie. Here.
It just gets like this sometimes. Sorry.
It's okay. I'm happy to camp on the couch as long as it means I'm not fading. I'm still not fading, right?
Not as far as I can tell. But maybe ghosts see other ghosts in a different way than humans can.
Not fading.
Okay. Well, good.
So, Mary says you're heading back to college too?
Yup.
Any thoughts on what you're going to study?
I was going into communications. Not that it'll do me much good now. So I guess whatever seems interesting.
Fair.
What about you?
You know, I'm not sure. I mean, I was taking business classes, but I'm kind of thinking about sociology.
Huh. Why the shift?
Well, for one thing, the whole ghosts are real and apartments can be sentient situation has made me rethink pretty much everything.
Fair.
Quiet. Watching TV.
Now we're for it. Edward Mainsborough has taken off with the stolen bracelet.
Oh no, Chief Inspector, however shall we catch him? I can't get the car through these tiny streets. Cobblestone paths just weren't made for a Ford Anglia. Get on, Chief Inspector. We have a scoundrel to catch.
To the hunt, Sister Prudence.
Ooh. Okay, babe, look at this one. What do you think? It's cute, and there's an office for you.
Those built-in bookshelves are amazing.
I know, right? And it's only a mile from the hospital, which is nice.
It's definitely top 3.
All right, I'll add it to the list. I do really wish you could come with me to see them.
I wish I could too. Are you sure you can't get them to cover 2 tickets?
Oh, I wish.
What? Did you just realize writing your list of apartments on actual paper makes you a grandma?
No. Eulalie, you've been sketching again.
That's... No, that can't be mine. You've seen my doodles. They're poorly drawn, even for stick figures. I couldn't do something that good. Could I?
Oh, Eulalie.
I didn't like the way it was looking at me, Alicia. It's wrong. I've been feeling that way a lot, you know? Like, this wrongness welling up when I'm doodling, and it just keeps getting stronger and stronger unless I destroy the sketches.
Don't take this the wrong way, but do I need to take the pens when I leave?
I don't know, maybe.
Listen, you'll be fine. I'll only be gone for a week.
A lot can happen in a week. But you're right. You're right. I'll be fine. I'm just feeling anxious, but the week will go by quickly, and then you'll be back.
Right. And the next time I leave, you'll be right by my side.
Right.
So, do you want to look at more apartments?
Not really.
What? Why?
Because if I only have a few more days before you leave, I want to make the most of them.
You're listening to KBOU KBOO, where the tunes are terrifying 24/7. I'm John Harker with a new hit single that's gonna have you scrambling to the cemetery.
I love this song. So, what you got waiting for y'all in Portland?
Family, possibly.
Not sure they'll welcome you back, huh? Or, you're not sure that you can deal with their bullshit?
To be honest, it's a little bit of both.
Either way, you have us. And they'd be fools not to welcome you back.
Yes, well...
It sounds like you don't know if you want them to welcome you. They burn you bad, huh?
I don't know what I want. My family would certainly complicate things.
You want my opinion? You already know what you want deep down. You're just afraid to go for it. Don't mind me. I'm a graduate of the Tough Love School. Gotta say it like I see it.
I used to think I wanted adventure, but I'm beginning to realize I didn't know what that entailed. Maybe it was just the camaraderie in adventure books that drew me.
And what about you, friendo? Are you here as a moral support?
Why couldn't the buses be running? Mostly. I've got some business of my own to attend to. Nothing interesting.
I doubt that.
I told you not to interrupt my...
Bill, it's...
Out with it!
No chairs. Stacked. Moaning.
I'll have a word with it.
A word?
Compulsive furniture rearranging is not what I paid for. I requested an upscale affair, possibly medieval. Certainly not this sniveling modern nonsense. And I will get what I paid for, or heads will roll.
Bye! Good luck!
That was exhausting.
I didn't think they'd be so familiar.
Welcome to the modern world. You'll find this to be all too common. Buck up, we're almost there. One more ride should do it. Don't give up hope when we're so close. They'll be overjoyed to see you. Unless... Frankie, do you not want them to be?
I don't know. I want to see them, and I'm afraid that if I see them, they'll push me back into the little box I had to occupy when I was alive. The ill and dying girl, the burden, the inspiring martyr. I don't want to be that person again. I never wanted to be that person. I can't go back to it. I've grown so much. I've changed. And maybe a small part of why I want to see them is to test the new version of myself, to see if she's lasting. To prove that if I decide to stay with Cardea, it's because I want to, and not because I'm trapped like I was when I was alive, and like I was in the phonograph.
Well... No wonder you're tied up in knots today.
As it turns out, I'm also a terrible adventurer. I just want to be home and comfortable.
Be fair to yourself. You're not traveling under the best of circumstances.
I am excited to experience a new city. When I was alive, it was still the Wild West. The stories we heard about this part of the world were all gunslingers and gambling dens and worse.
The place has grown up a bit since then. Oh, here's our next ride.
This new group seems to be adjusting well.
Yes, thank the void for that.
And it seems like the number of new ghosts is holding steady, at least.
A small miracle, with the way the living are behaving these days.
Oh, it was much easier to manage with Josie here, though.
Agreed. But at least something I'm doing seems to be working. On the binding front, things are less successful.
No leads?
No leads. But Maggie and Kate invited me to tea tomorrow.
Maggie and Kate? As in the women who taught themselves how to talk to ghosts and kick-started the entire spiritualist movement?
Yes. The inimitable Fox sisters have agreed to see me. Again.
And you think they'll have answers?
They didn't last time. I think they mostly wanted to gossip. But they promised to do more digging, so it's worth a couple of hours of bland tea and questionable conversation if it means Frankie gets the freedom she deserves.
The freedom we all deserve.
That sounds a bit ominous.
Oh, it's not meant to be. With everything that's been happening, Frankie's situation, Josie off adventuring, all these new ghosts learning how to ghost. I've just been thinking, am I really doing what I want to do with my afterlife?
Aha. Any thoughts?
Oh, no. I thought all this uncertainty and angst was something I left on the other side of the grave. It's like I asked myself one innocent question. What do I really want to do with my afterlife? And suddenly I feel like a teenager again, in the worst way.
That sounds frustrating. I was never a teenager in the modern sense of the word, but from what I've observed, it's a dreadful state of being. It can be a thrilling one, too, can't it? All the possibility in the world rushing hot and fast through your veins. It's a heady time.
I guess I'd forgotten about that part. But it is a little bit exciting, thinking about what my afterlife might become.
Well, that's only natural.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it will still involve animals. I know that much. I just think maybe it's time I do something more than just bringing a few strays home at a time.
While I think it's laudable that you're ready and willing to level up, I'd like to remind you that an assortment of wraith raccoons and the occasional dog or cat is about as much as I can handle. Even though she's a very, very good dog.
Yes, I know. What I'm trying to say is, I think it's time for me to move out and start a shelter.
Really?
Yeah. I found the perfect place a while ago. I just haven't been...
Quite ready to take the leap? And you are now?
Yes.
Well, I'm proud of you. Lota, even though we've all been focused on Frankie and now the new ghosts, I want you to know that I'm here for you, too. Always.
Thank you, Mary. I do know that. But it's always nice to hear.
I mean it. I'll do my best to help as much as I can.
Thank you. And don't worry, I'll keep pitching in with the support meetings. At least until Josie's back.
Well, Nick has a concussion, but the doctor says he'll be fine.
Good. Wait, how do you know? Aren't you supposed to stay off screens when you're concussed?
Apparently, I'm his emergency contact.
Of course you are.
They're going to keep him overnight just to be safe. I asked if we could visit, but no dice.
I'm glad he's okay. The house is not so much, but the residents were evacuated safely. And we did it, comrades. That poltergeist is toast. You say that like it's not a problem.
I agree with Myrtle on this one. It felt wrong.
What is it with you folks? We finally do what we've been trying to do this whole time, and you're upset about it? That poltergeist was wrong, and because of us, a family gets to walk away all in one piece. I refuse to feel bad about that. A house is a small price to pay for a family. And you saw the size of that house. They can afford the loss. We did our job. The end. And we're going to keep doing it, because for some reason, Portland has become a spectral shit show, and we're the only ones who can do anything about it.
The Way We Haunt Now is supported in part by an award from the Vermont Arts Council and the National Endowment for the Arts. This episode of The Way We Haunt Now was written by Courtney, Floyd, and Georgia Mckenzie, with sound design by Brad Colbroock, and voice acting by
Alex Bowie as the drivers,
Allie Hylton,
Jeff Goldman,
Kirsty Woolven,
Natalie Hunter,
Ariane Marchese as TV voices,
Becca Marcus as Lota,
Ben Akira Spencer as Bill's assistant,
Brad Colbroock as Cass Bromley,
Courtney Floyd as Eulalie,
Danny Spiller as Aaron.
David S. Deere as Henry.
Dennis Carvajal as Cecilia.
Eleanor Gray as Frankie.
Emma Skinner as 911 operator.
James Molloy as TV voices.
Georgia Mckenzie as Josie.
Kira Apple as the narrator and Mary.
Kirsty Woolven as Fidelia.
Lindsay Zanna as Danny.
Marlon Dance Hui as Chief Inspector Turnbubble.
Marnie Warner as Parker.
Marianne Stanek as Sister Prudence.
Paul H. Rollins as Nick Castlemead.
Ray O'Hare as Bill.
Tal Manir as Myrtle.
Tariq Issa as Poltergeist 3.
Tim Lowe as John Harker.
This episode featured bespoke commercials by V.H. Chen and Craig Church. There's no need to bust out your Ouija board to keep in touch. Whether you're new to the spirit world or simply a ghost in need of some entertainment, you can visit hauntnowpod.com for information about our cast and crew, content warnings, and transcripts. You can also find us screaming into the void of social media at, you guessed it, Haunt Now Pod. Remember to haunt responsibly.
I'm John Harker, and this is KBOU, KBOO, the #1 spookiest station on the Pacific Coast. I've got some exciting new programming for you folks. We'll cue that right up after these messages.
At Trash to Treasure, we believe that thrifting is not just a cool hobby, it's a way of life. That's why we have weekly deals on essentials you need, from clothes to kitchenwares and furniture. We also regularly partner with community organizations, schools, libraries, community centers to make thrift-based arts and crafts more accessible to everyone. So remember, shopping at Trash to Treasure isn't just a way to find some great vintage garb, it's sustainability in action.
Stop letting tech companies make all the money off your data. When you download Scraper, you get a 0.015% share of the profits anytime your information is sold. The more data you share, the more you make. Use promo code SCRAPE20 today to save 20% on annual membership dues. Scraper Incorporated is not liable for client use of sold data, including but not limited to use of your personal hopes, fears, and medical data for occult purposes.
You've heard countless stories of fantasy heroes meeting in a tavern before going off to save the world. But this is not their story. This is the story of the tavern. Welcome to Dragon's Rest, a podcast about the adventure behind the adventure. Meet Billy.
Hark! I am Billy Barlow. I'm looking for a place where adventures can be found.
A wannabe legend, Billy discovers the Dragon's Rest. Its owner, Shax, tends bar for countless adventurers. Her only problem? She hates adventurers.
Yeah, and then the evil wizard was dead and you got the girl. I've heard it before. Just take the beer.
Billy, hired as the newest server, meets the tavern regulars. From a washed-up sorcerer named Gilroy.
Eventually, the world just knocks the spirit out of you. That's how you become as well-functioning as me.
I'd call you high-functioning.
To the kind-hearted bard, Nolan.
When I first picked up a lute, they said, "You're not an artist. You'll never be able to play like the greats. Hey you, give me back my lute! Quick, someone stop that girl! She's stealing mine!"
And Magnus, a dwarf who talks more about his daring do than actually daring does it.
Have you heard of the great beastie I filled in the sewers this morning?
Your mom finally croaked.
Damn you, mage!
Together, they face the ordinary challenges of their extraordinary world.
Aww. How much you want to bet they stumble into a found family-style bond?
I truly couldn't care less.
Created by Darcy Thompson and starring a cast of talented storytellers, each week promises a fresh keg of laughter and misadventure.
Prepare! You who they call Shax?
No!
For the golden
idiot!
Strike!
Watch out!
So come on down where ale is cheap and stories are on the house. Dragon's Rest. Available wherever you get your podcasts. Visit dragonsrestshow.com for more.